So, welcome to this week's episode of Burn the Ships. We have our guest here, Malik. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, brother. I really, love being up on here on the show and all.
No, happy to have you. You know what? You may have trouble finding his episode because his name looks like Aeon, but we were talking about it all before about how difficult it is to really change your name. Is it worth it? Is it not? Because for me, my last name is pronounced Pinetti, right? But it's Pignetti. Now that silent G messed me up as a kid forever. When I was in high school, when we were reading Lord of the Flies, right? They always made me read Piggy. Because I was, not so much in high school, when I was younger, I was this fat kid with the last name Pignetti, and it was just a nightmare. But
damn. I can only imagine, dude.
But you know what? Bullying makes you who you are today. And,
100%.
Absolutely. So, why don't you tell us more about you and how you got into your business, what you're doing? Because I always know that when I saw you through social media, we met at Bev's a long time ago, and we've always relatively kept in touch. But something I love about you is you always have some entrepreneurial endeavor going on. I know it was the vape shops a while ago, right? Now you have the ceramic business. And dude, I'm curious what's going on in your brain as a fellow entrepreneur, what your hurdles had to be, what you've overcome, and how you got started. So I'm going to give you the floor, man.
All right. Yeah, honestly, dude, it's been it's been a big roller coaster. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset from me. And thanks to my father, thank God, he's the one that really showed me this whole mindset on how to be a business owner. Because I never wanted to be one in the first place. Like, growing up as a kid, I was always like, yo, I'm going to go do computer science. I'm going to be doing some coding. I'm going to do some wizardry shit and make a F ton of money and call it a day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, when I got into high school, I used to get in trouble a lot back then.
Okay.
And, I get suspended a lot. And my dad was like, all right, you're going to go work for me. And he has a gas station. So I'll be outside pumping gas in the middle of, 20-degree weather, right now, in the middle of the snowstorm, And that's really started it off for me. And he would teach me little things from there. Be like, hey, this is how you do inventory management. This is how you keep your cash flow going. And then he would introduce me to all the vendors. Be like, hey, this is my son. He'll place orders on my behalf. Because he was working 2 jobs. Not only was he owning a business, he was also working as a manager at a car wash in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So he wouldn't get to that gas station until 4 or 5 p.m. and my mom would actually drop me off. Yeah, she'd be like, yeah, all right, you done with school? Awesome. It's also another reason why we moved out here to Long Island.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up here all my life.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay,
actually.
Cool.
So,
I
was a skinny kid born and raised.
Oh, my God. So that's a really interesting way because you never hear the flip side of it that you went through. Where people, when they go in the entrepreneurial life, it's because they never wanted to work for anybody else. They hated that. They never wanted to be told what to do. But you went from, I want a job to you just kind of fell into entrepreneurship. Now, do you think a part of it was just because, hey, I know all these things and I'm starting to realize how, not that your father abused you in your business, but you're like, I don't want to be working for somebody else. I don't want to be told what to do. Now, once you got some real world experience, so what was that trigger point for you to be like, you know what, I know everything now, I'm going to go run my own stuff?
Honestly, that trigger point was back in high school, really. Because even while working at that gas station with my pops, I was like, yo, I want all the people I went to high school with, oh my God, I was working at this place, that place, I was like, I want to experience it, I already felt the family business type of thing, that type of vibe. I wanted to feel the other type, I wanted to feel how other people felt when they were going to work for doing 9 to 5 or whatever. And I did a few jobs. I used to work at a pizzeria as a delivery boy. I actually worked at Toys R Us for a little bit as well. So I experienced, I dabbled around jobs and I was like, let me see, just get a feel of how other people feel. Because I feel like to be a business owner, to be a boss, you got to know how the employee feels.
Absolutely. And without that experience, you'll never be able to run it correctly. Before 100%. I opened up my gym, it was a blessing for me because I had worked at a World's Gym for a long time where I was basically I consider myself a trainer because there were 3 trainers on staff at this location and people would come up to me for advice and they wouldn't sign up for training. So I actually got trouble sometimes because I was telling people what to do. Like, John, you're not a trainer. You can't tell people what to do. But I was 15 at the time. I had just got my working papers, and I was just a floor manager. Not manager, but like the floor guy. So clean up the gym, not janitorial, like put the weights away, basically. Where they had somebody on staff because nobody put their weights away. So put weights away, give people spots, and like general information at 15 years old. But they ended up accidentally training everybody. But I worked there, and then I worked at a Crunch Gym in Manhattan. I was in the flagship location there. Now, yeah, I was very quickly the top trainer of all the Crunch locations on accident because I wasn't trying to sell people. Because when you're looking at a commercial gym, it's basically a sales job for people who are in shape.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's, okay, I couldn't get a job, so I'll be a trainer because I have some relatively decent shape and I can convince people to buy something. But I never convinced anybody to buy anything. I was just getting my clients in great shape, and I was just helping people on the floor. To the point where I was so busy charging the upper master rates, I'm like, listen, if you want to train with me, that's fine, but these are the master rates, and I'm charging 2 sessions per clip. So, I don't know what I'm saying janitorial, but the managers loved me until
Of course they did.
They realized all their eggs were in one basket.
Right.
So at that point, I was leaving there relatively on my own will because we had a kind of serious conversation about it. Like, we need you to give up some of your clients because these other trainers need them. I'm like, hey, these people are paying $1.50 an hour to train with me. I'm not going to tell them that this new kid came in that needs clients is just as good as me because he isn't. So I'm not going to lie to people that way.
Right. Not only that, those clients had they have a relationship with you now.
Exactly.
You know where their weaknesses are. You know where their strengths are. You know what needs to be improved.
Exactly.
That new guy doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't. And then they don't know about the back problem, for instance. I'll never forget. I had 2 clients there that I'll never forget. One was this guy, Toru, where he spoke no English, only Japanese. Now, I can muddle my way through some Spanish, and you have an idea.
Right.
Only Japanese. Which, first of all, I'm like, how are you here? Why are you here? He was a news anchor for a New York news network in Japan. So he was reporting the New York news and United States news to his Japanese clientele. He was doing news reports like 3 a.m, getting the stuff out there. And this other guy, I can't remember his name. I want to say Alan. That sounds right. Completely blind. So it was 2 situations of figuring out a different, unorthodox way of teaching people how to use their bodies, how to learn their bodies. Because one couldn't understand me, the other one couldn't see what we were doing. So when you're figuring out different ways to phrase things, different ways to say, hey, listen, these are your lats. This is how you feel it with visual proprioception training, and so on and so forth. But working in these different environments, it allowed me to realize, you know what? My dream was always to go open up my own gym. And after dropping out of college, when I went for my MBA to go open it up, I'm like, you know what, I can do it. And I was glad to have that experience behind me. Because when it's time to do the books, the time to do everything, it was like the back of my hand. I'm like, oh, we got this. The only difference now is there's nobody breathing down my neck.
No, I definitely agree with you, man.
Mm-hmm. So what was your first business? What was the kickstart to your entrepreneurial life?
I say my first business, honestly, it even spans back way before I even moved out here.
Yeah.
I'd say when I was in middle school, right? Mm-hmm. I would notice, I'm sure over here as well, you got the vending machines, but they'll be charging $2.50 for a bag of chips.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what the hell is this? When the corner store right across the street selling it for $1.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I made a deal with the guy who owned that corner store, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, hey, obviously I was what, 11, 12 years old? I was in 6th grade. I ain't got no money. So I made a deal with the guy. I was like, hey, listen, I have a lot of kids. I go to the school over here. I know a lot of kids that want to, they buy snacks all the time from this vending machine. Mm-hmm. So, why don't we come out with something like we can, I can grab these snacks from you and then come back to you after school, and then I'll pay you for whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And I'll make a little money on top of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's what I did. He was cool with it. He was like, yo, I got you, no problem.
Yeah, you must have had a rapport with him by then.
Mm-hmm. So I would go in, I'll make sure I leave my house 30 minutes early, go to that corner store that's right across the street from my school, and then load up my backpack with snacks from Airheads, Doritos, Frito-Lays, whatever little things I could fit in there that I knew the kids were buying all the time from the vending machine.
Mhm.
And then during lunch period, I would be like, all right, yo, I'll stand in front of that vending machine. And I'll tell the kids, I'm like, yo, why are you paying $2.50 over here when you give me $2 for this? And they're like, oh my God, I'm saving 50 cents. I was like, yeah, you can pocket
Yeah.
it. Don't tell your parents.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's literally how it all started. I would be
Dude.
selling probably like $20 in snacks a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back to that right after school. I would just go to that convenience store, give the guy how much I owed him, and I'll be like, yo, I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever
Yeah.
didn't sell, I'll just keep it back on, put it back on the shelf for him.
Yeah.
And he was happy. He was like,
You know
hey,
what-
I just got, it's not that much money to him. I'm sure he's selling like, hundreds of dollars of snacks every day. But it was just a little something, I appreciated him giving that gesture for me to start off.
And it was also free profit for him.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He was
You know
doing
what I
nothing.
mean? You know what's funny? You're like the ugly duckling of entrepreneurship, where, the story of the ugly duckling where it was a swan, but they're all brown and gray. They don't look good when they're
Yeah.
babies and they grow up and they're beautiful, right? You're the ugly duckling of entrepreneurship because you were the one who actually had it in them the entire time when you had this other set plan of, I'm just going to go work for these people, make all this money. But no matter what, that was who you truly were. And eventually you evolved into it.
100%. Thank God. Now that I have all this stuff, going for me,
Huh?
I was looking back at it the other day. I'm like, holy shit. Like, one of the things, and I'm sure we'll get into this as well, is the, the things that people don't talk about as being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And one of the biggest things is time management.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you know as well. Like, I tell myself every single year during New Year's, right? I'm like, hey, I'm going to give myself more time to my family. I'm going to give more time to myself. The amount of times I'm on the phone with Nikki, Rizzles, and we're just talking, and I'm like, dude, don't work too hard. And he's like, yeah, same back at you.
Yeah. And the kicker is you'll end up working the entire day away, but when you're working on your own stuff, you love it.
Yeah, 100%. You can't even tell.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know Nikki, Nick Rizzo, Nikki Send the Check, all right? He was my co-host with our first podcast, The Voice and Rizzles, and he's, I'd say, damn near one of my best friends. He currently runs the Rizzology podcast. So if you're looking for another show, go check him out. Absolutely.
100%. And don't forget to tell him to send us the check for that, by the way.
Yeah, no, he owes
going
his
to be
check.
watching this.
Actually, funny enough, we've been saying send the check for years now. Nobody's ever sent the check. Now, when I was on Rizzology maybe a couple months ago now, 2 months ago, something like that, I actually told them Gold Patrons, my company, was going to send them the check. And I never sent the check. It was going to be like a $2 check. And I told them, like, this episode's sponsored by Gold Patrons. No problem. I'll send the check. And I never sent the check. So eventually, somebody's going to send Rizzology a check. And it's going to be
It's going to be a big
fat one,
check,
baby.
I'm about to
It's going to
say.
be a fat one,
How
baby.
many
That's a nice
episodes is he at now?
podcast. How many what?
How many episodes is he at now? Like 200?
Ooh. To be honest, I'm not sure.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure he's
200,
got
200 sounds a little high, but if you're talking about hours
like
of
all
content,
like
including Voice and Rizzles, yeah, maybe
Voice
but,
and Rizzles, another one.
everything, man. But if you guys need another podcast, you go check our boy out. So after the kids in school, what were you doing? What was the next endeavor for you? Because I can't imagine it took a hiatus of elementary school to adulthood.
Right. Then after that, like I was, I guess, like going on, moving forward.
Mhm.
Like now we're in high school, right?
Yeah.
I would notice like these little kids walk. Well, that's when I moved out to Long Island. Was in high school, and I noticed all these kids walking around my block. And I'm like, what's going on out here? Because I had that city type of mentality in me. I'm like, yo, I don't know this guy. He's walking on my lawn. What the hell does he want?
Mhm.
So I just go outside. I'm like, yo, asshole, what do you want? And he's like, no, I just want to shovel your driveway. I'm like, no, get out of here. I don't need your help.
Yeah.
I was like, go scam some other guy. And like that hit me too. And I'm like, yo, these jerk offs are going around, walking around with shovels in their hands, and I guarantee they charge $200-$300 per driveway.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this too. Screw it.
Mhm.
So I had a buddy that lived like 2-3 blocks away from me, right? And I hit him up. I was like, yo, why don't you and I start shoveling driveways and then we'll knock them out, bang them out together, and then we'll make some, we'll split the profits 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, profits were 100%. Because all I needed was, we had our own shovels at home, so that didn't cost me anything.
Mhm.
And it was just our labor.
Yeah.
So I remember like one time we had a bad snowstorm.
Yeah.
and we had like 15 inches. We got out of the morning like 7 a.m. in the morning. We didn't get home till like 6 o'clock at night, and we're just shoveling the whole block's driveway. We're going up. These adults are like, we were kids, so they're like, oh my god, these kids. Yeah, they're like, oh, well, I'll give these kids some money. Why not? We like charging people $400, this and that. It'll be nice because these parents, these adults, they would come midway and they're like, oh my god, you guys are doing a good job. And they'll just give us like hot chocolate. They'll give us water. I'm like, yo, this is nice.
You living the dream.
Yeah. I was just trying to save money to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because I asked my dad, I was like, hey, can you buy me a PlayStation? Because all my friends play PlayStation. They're like, no, you can get it on your own. I was like, how am I going to do that?
You found a way. And then the curse of every entrepreneur is you get the thing you wanted and you have no time to use it now.
The funny part was, I made like that night, I made like $800.
Yeah.
I didn't even buy a PlayStation.
What'd you buy?
I don't even remember. I just kept it like in my pocket. I was like, yo, I don't want to lose all this money. I just made all this money.
Yeah, you like a stack of it.
Yeah, I was like, so I just kept it. I just threw it in like a sock jar or somewhere.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah. Then I lost that 800. I don't know where it went. And I was like,
some weird business inventor. You don't remember?
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually how it goes. A funny thing about you bring it up to your boy that you're shoveling the snow with, right?
Mm-hmm.
People always get upset because they say they missed their once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be successful, and forever they're going to have to work for somebody else and basically be someone's bitch their entire life.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't realize is most people walk around with a very negative attitude all day, every day, and they're not looking for good. They're looking for the bad. If you listen to the conversations of most people, it's always pretty negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're looking for opportunities and you're around good people, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity comes around about twice a year.
I agree with you.
Even like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for your buddy. He wouldn't have done that. He would have had no clue of it. Hey, you want to come shovel snow? Sure, no problem. And for a kid that age, $800, that's, oh my God.
Yeah, we were swimming. We were happy.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to buy some lacrosse sticks with this. I'm going to buy a new soccer ball. He was like, what am I going to do with my money? I don't know. I was like, I'm going to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, he was splurging on the vending machine. You didn't care about the markup. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, I guess after that, like, I just, like, I didn't really have that mindset in me after that. I was just like, I was in high school. I started high school. I was just, like, worried about high school and all that, I had drama going on in my own personal life with family and all that. And then, like, I gained a lot of weight because of that as well. And then, like, 2019 hit, and I was telling my buddy, JP, shout out to him, by the way. I was like, yo, man, like, I see you got really fit. Like, I was looking through his Instagram. I was like, yo, you were, like, really big back then, and now you're looking really good. How'd you do it?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, come out to me to Bev's. Because, like, this was, like, 2018, like, the fall season, winter season.
Yeah.
And I was going to LA Fitness, and I was like, LA Fitness and Comac. And I was like, yo, I'm not a big fan of this gym. I just didn't really have that motivation that I was looking for. Mm-hmm. And then I was telling him, like, oh my God, I see all these big guys going to Bev's. What's going on over there? He's like, yo, come with me one day. So we go there one day. We get the day pass. I think it was like $30 back then.
Still 30, but still up there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, God damn. I was like, I'm paying $40 a month at LA Fitness.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He's like, do one workout with me. You're going to like it here. I was like, all right, no doubt. I was like, I was really interested in getting back into shape and all that.
Sure.
And then I saw everybody there, and I just see the mindset and the mentality that was being thrown out there. It was, it's a whole different aura. It isn't what it is now. Now we will talk about that later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like, oh my God, like, I didn't even know who these big guys were, and I had, George the Bull Peterson next to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking huge.
Yeah. And that was before George was big. He was like, he was just on his cusp right there.
Mm-hmm. And then I started chatting up, and because him and JP knew each other, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? And like, we were doing the Stairmaster together, and I just watched this guy, and I see this guy, he's like, I'm like, yo, you into anime? And he was like, yeah, I love my Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
And like, ever since that day, like, I just like knew, I was like, yo, like, the type of workout I had that day, I was like, I'm actually working out. I'm not just sitting here on this chair, on this machine, doing jack shit, scrolling through my phone, looking at what music playlist I should go through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I fully, like, that same day, I was like, you know what, screw this. I went to the desk, I think Lou was there. And I was like, yo, hey, Lou, can you sign me up for a month? He was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Ran my card right away. I was like, awesome. And then like I started going to the gym every single day. Like I was talking 7 days a week for like 2 hours per day. And like I kind of built that mindset. And then I noticed on my phone as well, like through Instagram. And like, because I'm sure you know as well, as like whenever you like talk about anything, like I'm sure, our phones are listening to us left and right.
Oh, it's listening all day long.
Yeah, so I just see all these big bodybuilders and these supplement companies just pop up on my Instagram feed. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
So then I go through like, I'm just watching videos and I'm like, oh my God, I had this one Instagram page I remember very well. It was called Machiavelli Motivation.
Oh, yeah, they were great. I used to watch their YouTube videos. Every time I'd be eating a meal, I'd be like, let me pop on the same video I've watched 10 times in a row. What's Jay Cutler doing today? Oh, he's eating.
Yeah. And I was just like, Ronnie Coleman, all these big guys. And I'm like, I'm starting to learn all about the the bodybuilding industry now. And I would watch, like, I remember like before I started working out, I was sitting in my car during my pre-workout and I would just watch, a couple of reels, a couple of videos, on Instagram from Machiavelli. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm all hyped up now. Like, I feel motivated. Let's fucking go. We're going to kill this workout. We're going to cry on that Stairmaster machine, but whatever, who cares? We got this. And like having that mindset where you're working out every single day and like, it affected everything in my life.
Yeah.
For a positive note.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible of the different mentalities, different thought processes that we possess because of where we've trained. Whereas some people, they don't even know it exists. You were one of those people originally where you didn't know this whole mindset exists. The bodybuilding industry, at least for the most part, isn't what it actually is. And then when you started training there, you got into Machiavelli, you're seeing, oh my God, these people look like this. They train like this. And they're always the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, 100%.
Every time.
Dude, the amount of times, even like, I remember one time, I forget the first time we actually met, like the first time we talked at Bev's. I think I was doing rows or something. And I was just fucking up. And you just tapped me on my shoulder. You're like, yo, hey, brother, I've seen you here all the time, man. Like, I noticed your form was a little fucked up. I was like, yo, my bad. I was like scared. It's just, this big guy's here. Fuck. He's going to fuck me up. And you were like, nah, man, like, this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. And then I remember, then I saw you on Instagram pop up, like the next day. I'm like, yo, that's that guy, John. Followed you right away.
I'm honored to be one of the big guys.
Yeah. It just proves to you, like, even Ian Taylor.
Yeah.
Like my second day at Bev's, like I was fucking up doing like I forgot what I was doing exactly, but it was a back exercise. And he was like, "Brother, you're bringing this thing all the way down to your stomach. That's not how you do it." And he was like, "Here," and he was like, "I'm gonna help you out." He said, "I don't want you to feel like I'm an asshole or anything. Coming up to you, explain to you what's going on. But I just want to make sure you don't get injured because I've done it. It's happened to other people in the past."
Yeah, of course.
And like I was like, "Dude, like these are the nicest people I ever met." Back in LA Fitness, and some guy would be screaming at me for sitting on the machine.
Yeah. And pretending that the big bodybuilder guys are the jerks. Yeah, the jerks, man. I mean, granted, you shouldn't be on your phone the whole time, but that was kind of an environment where people were on their phone the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing because my approach to people has never changed. I'll come up to you and I believe you where I'm like, hey, you're kind of fucking this up. Let me show you a little bit of a better way.
Right. No, 1,000%. And like I learned that as well. Like when I go to the gym now, for example, right now I'm currently going to ProFit.
Okay, that's a great place.
Just because it's a little bit nearer to my house, and it's easier to go to 24/7. I don't have to worry
Same
about
vibe anyway.
Same vibe anyway. And I like it, going at night, especially because it's so quiet. Like you don't have nobody bothering you.
Yeah.
So like I'll know some people, they'll like, they'll mess up a little bit. I'll just tap them on the shoulder. I'm not a big guy myself, I'm not like you. And I'll just be like, hey man, listen, brother, like I think your form is great, but there's something that some few things that you got to tweak on, and I'll show them properly. And they're like, oh my God, thank you. I thought you were going to fuck me up. I'm like, nah, man, that's not the case.
No, we're good. We're friends. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, dude, I'll be in this corner, man. Just come bother me over there.
So you had a big transformation. And of course it started when you got to Bev's. You started losing your weight and stuff. And you're a completely different person from when I met you that many years ago. Tell me about that journey.
Honestly, that journey, like I said, I remember I was like 265 back then in high school.
Yeah.
I was a senior in high school, and I was like, yo, what the fuck's going on in my life? Like, I used to not be this, this big.
Right.
And then I was like, all right, you know what? That's when I started like taking myself seriously in terms of working out properly, like, just trying to start working out because my parents were like, oh my God, you're getting big, And the one that really hit me the most was I was in the mall one day, right?
Okay.
And I was shopping for clothes, and I walked past a mirror. And then I walk back and I'm like, hold on. Let me look at myself real quick.
Yeah.
And I look at myself and I'm like, I make a rant like this. I'm like, holy shit, I'm fat as fuck. I was like, I don't want my gut hanging out.
Yeah. You need that realization like that once in a while. A cold truth realization.
Mm-hmm.
It was a saying, it's, what is it? I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's like something like that.
Right.
You know?
And then like, oh, go ahead, my bad.
No, just when you have that own self-acclaimed epiphany, that's the most motivating thing you could possibly do.
No, I agree with you. And then like, I noticed, I was like, yo, that same day while I was at the mall buying clothes, I'm like, I look at them and they're like, oh, you don't have your size in stock. I was like a 2XL.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. I was like, let me try an XL real quick. And I go inside the changing room, I put on that shirt. I'm like, damn, I'm fat as fuck. So I'm like, you know what? This is a fucking sign. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to ever feel that feeling ever again.
Right.
Where I have to, where I can go to the, I want to be able to go to a mall and know they have my size. You know what I mean? I can go in there and comfortably buy, a shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I'm kind of not in that direction anymore for different reasons.
Yeah.
I see now, I'm like, oh, they don't know my size? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a complete 180 of mentality and lifestyle. Because you completely transform your body now.
Mm-hmm. I think that year alone, because I started going to Bev's like December of 2018, early 2019. Okay. And like 2019 hit first week January. I'm like, you know what? I was going to Bev like 2-3 a week, and I was like, I wasn't seeing results. So I would see all these weight loss things come up on my Instagram. So one of the things was like, one of the tips were like, keep a tracker on your phone. Yeah. So like go in the notes section on the, on your iPhone or whatever you have, and just like put in the date and put in your weight.
Yes.
And then grind out 1 week, and then you weigh yourself again. Mm-hmm. And then I did that, and I was like, holy shit, I lost fucking 8 pounds in 1 week. Mm-hmm. I was going around telling everyone in school, like I went to my gym teacher. I'm like, yo man, I just lost 8 pounds. Let's go. And then he was like, yo, just letting you know, that's probably a lot of water weight. So you probably just lost a pound of fat. I'm like, water weight? I didn't know any of this shit. I was like, all right, what? Fuck it. So I start working out more and more and more, and then I'm like, and then I go into the Stairmaster again, and I remember I would go on Snapchat and post pictures of me, going through the gym. I'm like, yo, fuck it, let's do it leg day, baby, let's get it done. And then I started to see more and more results, and then by the time like my birthday was in April, so like April 7th, I made a little post saying, I'm like, oh my God, I just lost 30 pounds from January all the way to April. And then I started realizing, I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to fit back in these clothes now that I had prior. And I was like, all right, let's see how much longer it goes. And then I started going to what's called Total Nutrition Syosset.
Yeah.
And that's where I met John Linden.
John's the man. John's the absolute man.
The guy. He's a brother to me. Love him. And I was like, yo, John, like you're a big guy. Like, can you teach me some things? Like, I want to like clean up my diet, right? Because I was plateauing. Right. I couldn't go past 230 or 235, I believe it was. I was like, yo, what do I do, man? And then I didn't know he was doing online coaching. And I was like, you know what? This is perfect. I see John almost every day because I would stop over there and grab like a BCA drink, or just grab a milk, grab a smoothie that has my macros in it. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, you know what? Why don't we start working together when you're dieting? I was like, awesome. So I started working with him now. Mm-hmm. And I'll do my weekly, bi-weekly check-ins with him. And he would see me every single day, and I'd be like, yo, John, I forgot to eat something. Like, what do I eat in here real quick that can cover my meal? Mm-hmm. And then, from there on out, it got better and better and better. And I was just, completely zoned in, every day after school. I'm like, all right, done with school? Cool. Go home, eat my meal, rush to the gym. Rush to the gym, get my workout done, and then I would go back home, shower real quick, and then I'll go to my dad's gas station and help him out. Because he'll be short on employees. So, I'll help him out. He'll be a cashier, I'll do this. I restock the fridges. Because at that point in my life, I was like, yo, I was going through trouble. I was well in high school, like I said, mentioned earlier. I was always picking fights, instigating, yada, yada, yada. No, I noticed working at my dad's gas station that, hey, I can actually, I was staying away from trouble.
Yeah.
Which was great. So, I'll work out, boom, done. After that, I'm going straight to the gym. After working out, I'll go home, shower, eat my meal again, then go straight to, work a few hours at the gas station. And that would just be the repeat, essentially.
That's the new life right there. So
Yeah.
when you started getting in better shape, right? Because everybody in the world sees this, at least far as I know. And I'm curious how your relationship with it was. The second you start going to the gym, everybody's, oh, good job, good for you. And then you start getting in shape, right? And you see that tailoring off a little bit, slowly but surely. When you were posting it on Snapchat and you're putting up today's leg day, and the beginning is like, oh my God, fuck yeah, good for you. Go to the gym, have a great workout. And then those slowly start to recede a little bit. Did you have a lot of people in your life that were overwhelmingly supportive of you, going to change your life until you actually started to do it?
Honestly, like, I probably, like, as starting off, like, I'd get, like, like, I had people met, in high school, like, that year, 2019, my senior year, I kind of cut everybody off.
Okay.
Because I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm like, you know what? These people aren't going to be there for me. I don't care too much about these people. I've only known them for about a year and a half, 2 years, because I just started going to that school.
That's true.
And I'm like, you know what? Like, these guys, I didn't have the same friendship like I had my friends back home in Brooklyn. So, like, I was like, you know what? Screw this shit. I just dropped all of them. I went complete silent with every single group chat possible. And, like, I just started working on myself. Like, I'll be the quiet. I had, like, maybe 1 or 2 kids in school that were, like, that were actually, like, chill. And I would just say what's up to them, hey, how you doing,
Of course.
I wouldn't even sit at lunch because I wouldn't even eat lunch at school. I would just go to the computer room and, like, just work on, like, homework. That way I have time to get shit done later on in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when I noticed, like, those messages, I'm like, whatever, I don't give a shit about these people. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going to be there for me when I'm, down the road. They weren't there for me before, so why do I give a shit about them now?
Yeah. People love drama, man. They like to follow, especially back then because reality TV was just kicking off. People use social media as reality TV. Like, oh, what's on up to? What's he doing? Oh, he's losing weight. Let's follow his journey. Oh, I hope he slips up this week. I hope something bad happens. Not to your health, just to like, oh, I hope he gives up and puts the weight back on. People just like to abuse and embrace drama, just to see what's going on, to give themselves a pat on the back, and be like, oh, it's okay that I'm not doing it because he was doing it and he fell off.
Right. Yeah, and then, like, after that, like, graduation came from high school, and then I'll get these invites to all these grad parties. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. You know what? I'm not doing it. School's over now. Let me just go see what's up, catch up with everybody.
Sure.
Everyone's like, oh my God, like, I think I hit that. I was like a 210 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh my God, you look really good, this and that. All these girls coming up to me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, you guys weren't coming saying hi to me when I was fat.
Yeah.
Why are you coming up to me now? Because I'm more in shape now? Like, what's the deal? They're like, no, we just want to check up on you, make sure you're okay. We haven't heard from you in a while. I'm like, there's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just go up to the kid, whose grad party was. I'm like, hey, man, congrats on graduating. Hope you nothing but success in your future.
Sure. And,
I'll stay at the parties for like 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe at most, and I'll just, like, leave. I was like, all right, I'm done.
I got shit to do. I got more important things going on.
Exactly. Then I go to the gym right after.
Yeah. You had a good carb up while you were there and you went to go train.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, oh, we got pasta here? All right, great. Yo, this could fit in my macros.
I'm going to load up and I'm going to go home. They're looking at you pulling out a food scale. Like, what is he doing?
Literally. That's what happened a lot in college, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess, like, moving forward, summer came along, right? I was like, all right, awesome. You know what I mean? I think I turned 18 that year as well.
Okay.
2019, I think I turned 18 that year. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, awesome. You know what? I'm going to start. And then, like, I started seeing more things pop up on my social media about stocks, ETFs, and all this shit. And then I'm like, all right, awesome. I started learning about that shit. Mm-hmm. So during that summer, I was learning about stocks. I was in like a little Discord group where, they had all these gurus teaching, like, oh my God, for $20 a month subscription, I'll teach you everything.
Yeah. Wow, what a steal until you realize it's all bullshit.
Yeah, it was all bullshit. But then I went on YouTube. I guarantee I'm going to find shit on YouTube on, like, Stocks 101. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I started learning about how to read a chart, how, like, inside trading, all this shit. And then I started researching, like, what's expected to come up in the market. Mm-hmm. And that's when, like, I guess, like, you could say my first business, whatever.
Okay.
Really took in play. And I'm like, all right, awesome. Like, so that's what I'm going to start. I started learning about stocks, trading, this and that. I'll be all right. Stock market opens up at 9 a.m. in the morning, Monday to Friday.
Right.
And like I was doing it all through Robinhood because that's the only like my friend recommended Robinhood to me, and he was like, "Yo, you get a $50 credit, I get a $50 credit, we both win." I'm like, all right, fuck it.
It's an easy platform to learn on too, and to operate with fast.
Mm-hmm. So that's why like I started doing stocks through there. I started doing, I started learning about cryptocurrency. I was like, why is everyone talking about Bitcoin? Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I was studying trading stocks on there, and then I was also like going to the gym that summer and just like dialing both those in.
Mm-hmm.
And then August came. I went to Malloy University.
Okay.
It's called Malloy College before, but I was going there, and I remember like it was like the 15th second week of August. We had orientations going on, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, fuck, this is gonna ruin my schedule. I was like, all right, I don't trade for a day. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, my gym schedule. I'm gonna incorporate that. How about my meals? So like, I bought one of these things from Amazon, right? It's like a freezable lunch pack where you can fit like two, three little trays of food in there, and it's got an ice pack in there, keeps it cold so it doesn't the food doesn't get spoiled. Yeah. Like, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, everyone's eating lunch. They got burgers out here. They got pizza. I'm like, fuck this shit. All these kids in the group look at me like a fucking madman.
Yeah.
I asked the orientation leader, I'm like, hey, where's a microwave around here? I got to warm my food up. They're like, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm training right now. I got to make sure I don't fuck up my macros. They're like, macros, micros. The fuck? Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, gym shit.
Yeah, gym shit. You would understand.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you don't understand this shit, whatever. So
and that meal bag still comes with you everywhere to this day, right?
Yeah, like everywhere. I got that
big ass bag with me. For me, I'm basically walking around with a purse all day now because I have my meal bag with me everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
The funniest thing is, I was at a movie. I never go to the movies, but it was a movie with my girl and a couple of her friends, maybe a year and a half ago or something like that. And everybody's like trying to sneak food in, this, that, and the next thing. It's always, meanwhile, there's no rule that says you can't bring food to the movies.
Yeah.
But I'll always walk in there, just balls on the table. I'll walk in with a cooler bag on my side, like with my food, and I'm always laughing. I'm like, look, I'm gonna buy some of your shitty candy. Just let me eat my proper food here. You know what I mean? Right. And I always use the excuse, oh, it's a medical condition. So you can't have food here. It's a medical condition. Oh, okay. No problem.
They can't ask you any questions.
No, but there was a lady behind us, like waiting online and stuff, and we get over here. She's like, he just brought a bag in here like he's going to the beach. But, it's funny. It's like, I have big people privileges, I guess you could say. Because I'm like, you're not going to say it to me, right? Like, you'll say it back there, but you're not going to walk up to me and say, you can't have this meal bag in here. That's not allowed. It's like, lady, calm down, all right?
Dude, that would happen to me too, like at restaurants. Like, I remember, like, my boys would go out to eat, right? And, like, I would go out with them, out too. I was like, all right, I want to, I don't want to miss out on a good time. So I would bring my food with me, right? It was already warmed up. I was like, all right, it'll be a little cool, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not, And, like, waiters would come up to me and be like, you can't eat here.
Well, that's different. Like, that's actually a rule.
Yeah. I was like, yo, listen, I was like, listen, man, I'm training right now. I'm going to try to make sure my things are, trying to make sure, I'm in par and check with all the things. I don't want to, like, fuck up my schedule, my food schedule. I was like, dude, I'll buy a Sprite from you. I don't care. I'll buy a Sprite Zero or Coke Zero.
Yeah.
No. So I was like, all right, screw this shit. I'll just go out and eat outside. And I had good friends back then as well. So like, they had chairs set up outside, so we would all eat on like the picnic table. They'll be eating their pizza and the burgers. I mean, I'm out here with some rice, some grilled chicken. Got some broccoli over here. And like that's just like really, I feel like that going to that gym and being in that environment I was at in Bev's really built myself to other things as well in life.
And it builds your self-esteem up tremendously, because where now you have the balls to do something like that, high school you might not have done all that, but because you have more self-confidence in who you are, what you need to do, and what you plan on doing, you're willing to actually walk around and say, no, listen, this is what I have to do for me. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but this is what's happening right now.
No, I agree with you 100%, man. And I'm thankful, I'm thankful every day that I was able to be in that mindset. I was able to be introduced to that type of gym. And like, I was able to like learn myself the hard way that, hey, I needed that change. Because if I didn't go to Bev's, I don't even think I'll be, and I did that whole weight loss journey. I don't think I'd be where I'm at today.
Probably not, to be honest. Because, you know, when you live the life of a bodybuilder, right? You've never competed, right?
Nah, I never competed.
No. But especially when you go through a prep and you're fighting your body's natural instinct to eat what it wants to eat, but you're telling it, no, we're gonna suffer even though all this food is around us. The discipline you develop from living this type of lifestyle allows you to do anything you want in life. You know, there's you remember Rich Piana, obviously.
Yeah.
He had a saying a long time ago. It was like, if people put in the same effort into building their business that they was being a bodybuilder, every one of you would have multi-million-dollar companies, even if you didn't know what you were doing. Just the amount of effort and dedication, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when you can really apply that mentality to entrepreneurship, and like I would say, burning the ships, knowing that no matter what, I'm going to gamble my life on me and that's it, you can accomplish anything.
I agree with you. Look at, I know we're talking a lot about BEVs right now, but like, look at the cars that go into BEVs, right?
Oh, yep. 100%.
I remember I was seeing G-Wagons over here. I'm seeing brand new BMWs over here. I see a Ferrari. I see a pickup truck, and I'm like, Ford F-350 Platinum. I'm like, what is this? I look it up. I'm like, it's a $100,000 truck. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's more than the Lambo you saw. You're like, what the fuck is this guy driving?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I would do cardio, like, I started getting to know the people that go to BEVs. I'll be like, hey, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Like Steve Tavares, for example. He was driving around in an i8. Like, I see him pull up to BEVs in an i8. I'm like, yo, man, what do you do? He's like, oh, I have a construction company. I do real estate. I'm like, yo, this is dope. I forget, these other guys, I asked them, what do you guys do? And like, oh, I do stocks. I'm like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I'll pick their brain a little bit. Everyone else, like, everyone has some sort of business. And like that also made me realize, I'm like, hey, what's the connection between all these bodybuilders and these guys who are coming here to the gym every day and businesses, and like, made two and two go together.
Yeah. It's understanding that mentality. And, it's the same thing where the majority of my business connections, at least in the beginning, not so much now, but in general, have been from BEVs, because my company partners up with a ton of mortgage guys, a ton of contractors, everything. And we got some of our biggest clients early on from BEVs. Just knowing people through passing, you're like, oh, of course you own your own business. That's what you do.
100% agree. And it's a whole network. Essentially, that's what BEVs really turned into.
Absolutely. It really did. It really did. Mm-hmm. It's a network of people that are disciplined to get done what they want to get done, but also give a shit about training.
Right.
And they all know how important that training is into their eternal success.
100%. And like I said, it's all like-minded individuals. And I feel like when I first stopped at BEVs, I feel like people were like little, they were a little wary about me because I was a young-ass kid. I was a 17, 18-year-old kid walking into BEVs. And like, everyone else over there was like in their mid-20s. Like, I think I was the youngest kid going to BEVs at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Like, the only time like I saw the young kids who were like, parents working out there. Like, all these other bodybuilders that had kids, they were like, be hanging out where Panzo would be over there training.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like I got that type of respect over there as well because they saw the type of work I was putting in that effort.
Yeah. I know a buddy of mine too. He brings his kids there all the time. The kids go in there while he's training, his wife is training, and then they go about their days.
Exactly.
And it works perfect. It's like daycare, but you're getting something done.
Right.
Your kids learn a valuable skill.
Well, those kids that went there, they were very disciplined.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely,
they were very respectful. Man. They weren't running around. They were like sitting in their corner doing their little thing, right? Which is cool. They're kids. You go be kids.
Mm-hmm.
But they were very respectful. Say hi, how are you to like, people. And I'm like, damn, whoever the parents were, God bless them. They actually taught their kids right.
And the same thing happens when you're willing to put in the work for your entire life and take care of yourself. You're going to take care of your family properly. A lot of families have a lot of issues when there's alcohol involved, drugs involved, things like that. But that really comes from a lack of discipline and a lack of parenting skills. So when you have the people that are willing to put the work in for themselves and understand what it takes for personal success and personal growth, you pass it on to your kids, man. And kids are monkey see, monkey do. So when they see their dad or their mom working out in the gym, working hard, watching what they eat, caring about the things they do, it makes them good kids because they realize, just like your father taught you, hey, you know what? You got to work for what you're doing. Nothing in this world is free, and it's always worth putting that work in.
100%. I agree with you 1,000%.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about your other entrepreneurial endeavors, because I know you've been through.
Oh, too
I
many.
know this, and I know the vape shop.
Yeah.
I don't know what else, and I'm sure there were a couple through the road.
Yeah. So after that, like, so, started the vape shop. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
vaping was a big trend back then, right? It still
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it
And
still
I'm like,
is.
yeah, and my dad, I told my dad, I'm like, yo, like, you see all this shit going on over here. Why don't you sell vapes at the gas station?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I see all these people come in. I see raise, I saw how much it would be wholesale and how much it would be retail. I'm like, holy shit, there's like 150% ROI in this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
crazy numbers. So like I saw I saw his business skyrocket because of that idea. So we started introducing a few flavors here and there, and like we're like, holy shit, like I see people were like, I want more and more and more. And we started collecting a whole selection.
Mm-hmm.
And these people come back every other day or every day to buy the same thing. And I'm like, holy shit, this is more money than a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because really, essentially, in a pack of cigarettes, you're only making $1
Yeah.
at most.
There's a very strict pricing on that.
Mm-hmm. So like from there, like I was like, all right, awesome. So I was helping them out over there at the gas station, and then I was making my own money from stocks.
Yeah.
And I was going to school at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm doing this and that, and then COVID hit.
Right.
So now we're like, 2020, essentially. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Like, I see, I was hearing about it out east in Asia. I'm like, all right, this will never come to the U.S. None of us thought it would come out here.
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah, then I think some guy in Texas got sick first. I'm like, all right, that's Texas. We're chilling.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
Yeah. And then I see I'm in class, and all of our phones blow up, and we just see an article from the New York Times, right?
Mm-hmm.
First case of COVID found in New York and New Rochelle. I'm like, oh my God, fuck. I'm like, yo, watch, next week, there's going to be no school.
Yeah.
And that's literally what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right. Then I see beds closing, all these gyms closing, all these mandates going on. We were all freaking out back then.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I'll still do good with my stocks. I'm chilling,
Mm-hmm.
And then
That was
that
a
year I
great time
filed
for
for
stocks.
taxes.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. I didn't know what short gain capital gains tax was back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
not
trying to find a way to
pretty
evade
number.
that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, so I speak to my accountant. I'm like, yo, Nick. I'm like, yo, what the fuck do I do here? I don't want to pay taxes. He's like, nah, you got to pay taxes. But he's like, you know what? You're still making money. You're good.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you open a business?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you start a business? He's
Write
like,
it off.
yeah, write it off.
Yeah, put it into something
I'm like,
instead of just throwing it away.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like when the smoke shop came in play.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm looking around for like locations because I want, open something up. I ran it by my parents. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think? Like, you think this will be worth it? He's like, I think you got, I didn't have enough money. So I was like, hey, Dad, can you help me out with a little bit of this? He's like, I got you, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we opened up, that's how then, found locations, started it up. Cause like even back then, like, I couldn't get a tobacco license.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a liquor license because I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
You had to be 21 to get all that stuff. So guys, like, Pops, you got these? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So like that, like, from there, I signed the lease back in March that year, 2020.
Okay.
And like that's when like the gyms fully closed down. So we had all those little secret little gyms going on all over the place, underground gyms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never closed.
Yeah.
We closed for about 2 weeks. I remember when they announced all the gyms are closing no matter what. And we were sitting there like, what are we going to do? So we closed up for a bit and we're like, you know what, fuck this. So we ended up blacking out all the windows, deadbolting the front door, and we put a pin code lock on the back door.
Oh shit.
That place was packed every day, where we wouldn't let you wear a mask in there to train because we knew the masks were bad for you. We're like, if you wear a mask, you're not welcome here. Plain and simple.
That.
So we were kicking people out, throwing them out. We did not have one person get sick.
Wow.
It's because when you're working out and being healthy, that keeps you healthy, man.
Of course, you have a very strong immune system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So back to you.
Yeah, so I found a gym, like a secret gym. I hit up John. I'm like, yo, bro, where the fuck am I gonna go to train? I just lost all this weight. I'm not trying to lose that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That momentum.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I went to this gym in, it was like a training facility out in Farmingdale, right?
Okay.
The guy was charging me $20 per day.
Yeah, we were breaking it in.
They were right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't have equipment. Like, all right, he had free weights, he had a row machine, right? He had assault bikes, and that's it.
Yeah.
So like, now I'm trying to like, I had John as my trainer. I was like, yo, John, you want to like teach me a few things over here, kid? And he's like, yeah, sure. So like, I was training out with John Linden. We're just going at it with free weights and like, the row machines. We're using what we got,
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is great. Because like now I'm, I feel like we're going back down to basics again. So any mistakes that I was making prior, like John Linden would have come in and like, show me, this is how you do it properly, this and that. And like, I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
During those months where gyms were closed. So I would be going in, and then I became boys with the owner as well. He's a great guy. And like, he, like, sometimes I'd be like, yo, bro, like, I left my wallet at home. Can I come in? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I got you. You're good.
Yeah, next time, no problem. Yeah,
it's going straight. I know you now. You're good.
Yeah.
And we just bullshit after we're done training. While I'm just drinking a protein shake, trying to chug it before I go to work.
Yeah.
So I was going there, and then I was like doing, going to the smoke shop, trying to build that up, in terms of like getting construction done, watching everything, getting taken care in place, and slowly everything's going into play. And which was great too, because I was like, yo, Gold's Gym of East Northport or Northport, whatever it is, was right next door. So I'm like, yo, this is fucking awesome.
That's great.
When the shop opens up, I can just walk literally 2-3 storefronts down the road, and I have a gym right here where I can work out. So months go by, I'm getting more and more fit. I'm more in shape now. I'm gaining muscle mass on my body because I dropped down all the way to 190.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah. John and I were like, I told John, I was like, yo, I want to do 200 and that's it. I think 200 will be fine. He's like, no, you got 190 in you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we dropped all the way down to 190. And then we started building, we started building muscle mass. And I was like, the one thing I also noticed that was like, yo, it was hard for me to grow muscle mass because I was in such a caloric deficit for, 9-10 months that my metabolism got so quick. Anything I ate just burned right off. And I was like, oh, this has never happened to me before, where I was losing weight while eating more.
Yeah. You guys are eating like a machine.
Yeah. So we're eating like 8 meals a day, just chugging all this shit. I'm like, yo, he's like, yo, we need more food. I'm like, no more food, man. I'm done. He's like, no. He's like, you're burning through all of it. I'm like, nah, dude, fuck this.
Yeah, you need more.
I need more, exactly. So I had that going on. I had online school going on, and then the smoke shop opened up in November.
Okay.
So from there, like, it was my first day. I posted online. I'm like, hey, you know what? We're officially open. Doors are open. Let's go. Let's get it done. And I had people that I knew were coming in. I had random people from the street coming in. Like, oh my God, you're open. Yeah. And that's like where my success really started.
Yeah.
Was through that smoke shop.
How was your grand opening?
It wasn't bad. I think the first day we did like $900 in sales.
Great. That's awesome.
I was like, yo, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But the one thing I noticed, I was like, yo, it was slow at first.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I don't need any employees. Fuck this shit. I could work 100 hours on my own.
Yeah.
So I fired all of them, right? I was like, listen, there's no money coming in right now. It's very tough. I'm trying to recorporate everything, we put it into this place. And I'm just working 110 hours a week, 120 hours a week, 7 days a week, open and close, open and close, open and close. I'll close up shop, then I'll go do, I didn't have time to like work out because obviously I had to be up in 6 hours to go open up the shop again. Yeah. So I'll do cardio, you know what I mean? I'll walk around the block, do a couple, do a couple of laps, whatever. And like that's really like where I started noticing like more motivation, me being more proactive, and that's how I learned like how to be a really be a business owner. Because I was doing all those little side jobs here and there before, but I didn't really know what it really truly meant to be a business owner until like I was sitting there, working 15-hour days.
Yeah, with a lease.
Yeah,
well, that has to get paid.
Exactly. Forget the lease. Business insurance. You had electricity.
Yeah.
You had your your gas bill from PSEG, National Grid.
Yeah, it adds
all this
up
little stuff
fast.
It did. It did.
It adds up.
That's why,
real
like,
fast.
the first week I did payroll, I was like, "Yo, fuck this!" I'm giving $900 a week in payroll. I could cut that off right away.
Yeah, that's immediate profit.
Exactly. I'm like, I can do fucking 15 hours a day. How hard could it be? Yeah. Little did I know.
Pretty hard.
Yeah. You're tired. Your body's drained.
But you know what? You can always rehire.
Huh?
You can always rehire.
Exactly. I was like, yo, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can find employees anywhere, anytime I want.
Yeah, let's see how we can do it by myself. Be like, you know what? I don't need as many people, but I could use one or two.
Right. So for 5 months straight, like 4 to 5 months straight, I would work 110 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the only one there.
Yeah.
Open and close, open and close, open and close. I was like, I don't need any employees until I felt comfortable, right? Until I noticed like there was a steady income coming to the shop. Like I could see I'm doing X amount of dollars per day.
Right. Steady profits.
Exactly. And that's like really, and that's what I did until I hit that market. Then I started hiring employees.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing I want to bring up, I want to talk about as well in this podcast was, hey, like hiring friends and businesses. Yeah. I learned the hard way.
You and me both, it never goes well.
Mm-hmm. So when I started wanting employees, I was like, yeah, I'm sure I got, I hit up some friends that I knew that were looking for a job. I was like, hey, you want to work here? They're like, yeah, sure. I work with them. They're happy now. I'm working with my boy. Like, this is going to be great. We're going to have a great time. And then they had, then I started having the mindset of a boss,
Right.
And then I saw how they were, and then I realized as well, I was like, no matter how much you pay these guys an hour, they're not going to work the same as you will.
Never. Not even close.
Right. And then, I had my friend work for 2 weeks, and I got fed up with this shit because I was like, yo, he's not doing the way I wanted to do. So I took him outside. I was like, yo, buddy, we got to go for a talk.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, dude? I'm like, yo, it's not working out, man. Like, I've told you this and that. Like, it looks like you don't want to get involved in it. I'm like, listen, man, I'd rather save a friendship than, ruin one and burn a bridge with you. So I was like, listen, man, I gotta let you go, man. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he wasn't so understanding. He was like, yo, fuck you, this and that, man. What the fuck?
Yes.
He's like, I need the money. I got this payment. I got that payment. I'm paying for college right now. I was like, yeah, man, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. Go find another job.
Yeah.
What were you going to do if I wasn't here for you?
Exactly. I was like, you did the same shit. You go look for a job. And then, we didn't talk for months. And then, that ended that. But like I said, I learned the hard way.
Yeah. We do. We've all been there. So do you still have the smoke shop?
I still do.
Cool.
I don't go there as often. I barely actually go there because it's self-ran. I have a manager there now. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
I'm very hands-off for that place.
That's what you want. That's the dream.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of those going. You're set.
Yeah. I just go in once a week. I'm like, hey, what's up, everybody? Like, where the fuck you been?
I
have customers that have been coming to me from the beginning, right? And they're like, oh my God, you're still alive? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And where the fuck you been? I don't see you here no more. What's going on? I missed our conversations. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, dude, you have my number. Like, feel free to text me anytime if you ever want to chat or, check up on me.
Yeah.
And just go in there, check out everything, make sure everything's good, give out payroll, and be like, all right, I'll see you next week.
Yep. So you guys, and they don't care. They're like, oh, we came in to pay us. Great. No problem.
Yeah.
They know
they know I'm watching them too. I can just go on my phone right here, boom, open this thing up, and see the cameras.
Yeah.
And they'll know they're being watched. So if I see them do a little fuck up, I'm like, yo, man, how come the fridges are still empty?
Yeah.
How come the shelves aren't stocked? I'm like, why is this delivery still sitting here? It's been here since morning.
Right.
So they know I'm still keeping tabs on them.
That's the secret. You got to be on top of it all, even if it's remote. That's this really the defining moment of either a business is going to make it or break it.
Right.
So what's going on with ceramic now?
Well, then after that,
that's leaps and bounds from vapes. So how do you get into this?
So one of the other things, that same friend JP that I was telling you about before, right?
Yeah, no,
I remember he would take me out to networking events because I was like, yo, I want to network, right? I wanted to grow out of my field. I don't want to be stuck on one thing because the one thing I kept on learning was the average millionaire, he has 9 different sources of income coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would go out to these little these pop-up events in New York City where he was connected into, and people would ask me, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a smoke shop owner. I'm a vape shop owner. Yeah. And just seeing that look on their face, they consider it a joke. You know what I mean? Oh, he's this guy, And I thought it was just one guy, and then all these other guys, who are millionaires, they hear that and they're always a fucking, it's a joke,
Yeah, it's, okay, so you're not really one of us.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And hearing that changed me as well. I'm like, damn, where the fuck you mean I'm not one of you? I'm not saying I'm a millionaire. I'm not even a millionaire to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One day, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Not hopefully. You're gonna do it no matter when.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, I was like, I want to learn more, more sources of income and revenue.
Yeah.
And like one of the side things I would do when I was a kid, like in high school, right?
Yeah.
Is I remember, I was detailing, high school students' cars down my parents' driveway.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was like, I know how to detail cars. I know there's money in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought, I saw a location for sale in Huntington. This was like 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was, called Cavalier Auto Detailing.
Mm-hmm.
I read their, then I started looking at as a business aspect. I'm like, is this business profitable? I started looking into little things here, there, seeing what they're doing, what their P&Is are, all that fun stuff that we all hate looking at.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I was like, you know what, this makes sense. I was like, let me jump into this business, and then I bought that business. Yeah, it's been 2.5 years now. 2 years and 1 month, almost 2 months
Nice.
actually, since I've owned that place. And I had to rebuild a lot from the bottom up because the old owner, there was a whole shit show going on with him. He didn't have money. A lot of the employees' payrolls, their checks would bounce.
There was a reason it was for sale.
Yeah, there was a reason why it was for sale. So I bought that and I built it up, from the bottom. I guess you could say from bottom up, really. Like there was there was a foundation there, but like talking to people, like letting people know who the hell I am, hosting events over there, like getting photography done. Like I would call him again, Biggie Rizzles. He was the only videographer I knew. Yeah. I was like, yo, Nick. He's like, what's up? He's like, I need your help, bro. Like, can you come in here and take videos of this and that? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I got you. Mm-hmm. And then Nick and I started becoming more and more friends, Yeah. Because we were just chopping up about all these hobbies that we love, like guns, for example, and the gym, mm-hmm. Then we would talk about how Bev started changing up a little bit as well. Because then we saw a rise in TikTok influencers and how TikTok really changed the whole scene.
Every scene of everything.
Right.
Everybody's a coach now.
Yeah.
There's not one person who hasn't stepped on a bodybuilding stage, even just in a bikini with no build on them, that doesn't think they're a coach.
Right. I'll see these girls like shaking their ass on fucking TikTok. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And then I'll click on the profile and they're like, join my live fitness class. I'm like, you ain't no fucking bodybuilder.
And then underneath it says, join my OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, yeah. I'll go in the comment section all pissed off. I'm like, yo, come to Bev's and be like a real, come see what real bodybuilding is. Mm-hmm. I guess one of them saw them because next thing you know, you see a sign up on the wall at Bev's, no inside photography, no tripods.
Yeah, no tripods, no gym bags.
Yeah.
That's incredibly annoying. It was necessary because it went way out of hand. There were way too many tripods everywhere. Everywhere you walked, there was something going on there. The gym bag is a bit much, I will say, because I hate going back and forth with my belt and my wraps and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the tripods were everywhere. Now, for me, it messes me up a little bit. Ironically, I just bought a bit of a better camera, so I'm excited to use that. But I put a lot of good quality fitness content out there. Which that really, and I was doing YouTube videos every day. I'm getting that back on that today, actually, because the camera just got in today, so I can make better content. But it put a big halt in my videos and in my content because I didn't know what to do about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a shame that, you don't want to say let some people do it and some people not, but, when half of it's nonsense and the other half is quality, like I'd happily be like, listen, brother, $200 a year, you can use tripods. Here, no problem. Thank you.
Right.
That'd be great.
Because all those guys at Bev's that were coming there prior to, when they had their camera setups, they were actually, they would be either filming for all these magazines or for any supplement company that they were sponsored with, that they had to get content out. And I knew Steve didn't care about that back then,
No, that's still allowed. You can have a team come in and film you and stuff. You got to get permission, but they'll never say no to it.
Yeah, but, Steve doesn't mind.
No, but personal tripods and stuff are a big no-no.
Oh, yeah. I remember, when I started seeing those influx of kids go into Bev's, and, they're all calling themselves fitness influencers.
Yeah, the broccoli hair.
Yeah. I'm like, now they're my age, so I'm looking at, everyone knew me at Bev's. They knew, I wasn't a part of this whole fucking culture shift, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And then I see all these kids. I'm like, yo, who the fuck are these jerk-offs? I remember one time I got into a fight with one of them. at
Yeah.
Bev's. Yeah. Cause like I'm just working out and like the guy's like, yo, can you hop off this machine? Like I need to film something.
Oh,
I was like,
fuck
hey man.
you.
I was like, dude, listen, I was like, if you want, man, like we can go in between sets. No problem. He's like, no, I need the machine for 20 minutes. I'm like, listen, dude, you don't own this machine. This machine belongs to the gym. We all pay a membership here.
Yeah.
If you got a problem, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight up said that to him. And he's like, who do you think you are? I got 100,000 followers. I'm like, dude, guess what? I don't give a fuck about your 100,000 followers.
Who cares? And they don't give a fuck about you either.
And he got so like that guy got so emotional, and he was like with all of his boys because I'm just going at him, and all of his boys
Yeah.
are just laughing, and they're like, "Oh, look at this, yeah."
They're laughing at
Like,
him.
let's go outside. I'm like, dude, I got no issues going outside with you right now,
Yeah.
but I got respect towards Steve, the owner of this gym, and I got respect to everyone that goes here and the gym itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Lou saw what was going on, and he was like, you know what, fuck this. Lou came around, and he was like, came up to me, he's like, yo, bro, everything good? I'm like, yeah, it's just this jerk off with this camera, Lou kicks him out of the gym right away, and his
I
friends.
was gonna say those kids don't stay long. If you're a jerk off in that gym, you are thrown out damn near immediately. You do not last at best.
100%.
And that's one of my favorite things about that place. Is anybody who stays there and has been there for a while, they're all good, solid people, man.
Oh, 100%. Down on the people, they all got, they're all doing their own thing, trying to make it in life.
Yeah.
Great people.
Yeah.
Never
absolutely.
had an issue with anybody at Beth's.
No,
Except for that one time with that jerk off, like I said with the camera.
Yeah. Fuck that kid. He doesn't count. He's not at Bev's anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
Exactly. So where are you training now?
I'm training right now at Profit in Deer Park.
Right.
I still have my membership at Beth's, but I feel like it's just like right now, I'm trying this year, one of the biggest things I'm trying to do now is also build on my time management skills.
Okay.
I feel like the past few years since COVID, I really neglected my family in terms of, I wake up in the morning, I'm out of the house, I go home at late at night, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, do my meal prep, and then I'm knocking out.
Right.
It's more like a hotel than like an actual,
It's a bedroom.
That's how my mom phrases it. She's like, you're living in a hotel, really.
Yeah.
So like one of the things I'm trying to do now is learn more time management, how to give time to not only my businesses, but only to myself.
It's a good thing.
And my family.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a hard thing to balance, especially as you're growing a new business. Because I know you're established now, but it's still a new business. Those first couple of years, you got to be there all day long working on it 24/7.
Yeah, like even this place where I'm sitting at right now, I just bought this place, last month? Yeah. And the
where's
reason
this
why I bought
location?
this place, it's in West Babylon.
Cool. Oh, no kidding. I'm in Babylon.
Yeah. It's right off exit 35 on the Southern State, right where the cemeteries are.
I got you. Right on Wellwood.
So, yeah. So I bought this place because I was like, all right, I was doing so good at Cavalier that I needed more space in a sense.
Right.
I wanted to keep certain types of detailing services like paint protection film or vinyl wrapping or window tinting. I realized you need a cleaner area. And since we were detailing so many cars over there was dust all over the place. So we couldn't properly do these installs. So that's when I was like, all right, I need this in order for me to grow this place out. I was like, let me get this place.
Right.
And that's why I got this place.
That makes sense, man. So what's your goal with this place? Because you have detailing now, you have ceramic, and you have vapes.
Yeah. So my end goal is with the regulations going on in the vaping industry.
Yeah.
I want to sell that business sooner.
Yeah, it's fair.
So, I've had my fun with it, no complaints at all. I just feel like my time is, I feel like I can move, I could take that money from whatever, whatever the sale would be, and I can invest it in something else. Like one day I want to start getting into real estate.
Right.
Investment properties,
Now, do you see a correlation of what those, let's say, millionaires were talking to you about when you said you own a vape shop and they were kind of scoffing you off a little bit to where now you're saying, what it's the first one I'm going to get rid of? Like as if your time can be spent significantly better elsewhere? Like as if it's like a good stepping stone?
I've thought about it. I put a lot of thought into that. I'm like, listen, that was like, my baby in a sense,
Right. Yeah,
I
of
built
course.
that place from the bottom up. And I'm like, listen, with the regulations in that industry, it's changing every single day. It's become more and more harder. You hear about vape shops selling, weed all over the place, this and that. We don't do that, thank God.
Yeah, of course.
But I just feel like when, it's more and more of a bad mouth is being put up with this industry.
No, it makes sense. It's better to prioritize yourself and keep yourself surrounded by quality opportunities where you had a great opportunity to open the vape shop and did really well there, but now the new opportunities are knocking on that door. They're knocking on your other doors.
Right. Like, for example, I know I even forgot I owned this business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in between then, like what, 5-6 months ago, I even started another business. Because I was thinking, I'm like, hey, what do all these detailers need?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, they always need soap. They always need, like, drying towels. They always need, like, interior detailing sprays, leather conditioners.
Mm-hmm.
So I started up a company. With a buddy of mine.
Okay.
Where what's it called? Where we sell those type of products.
What's it called?
Exodus Car Care.
Exodus Car Care?
Yeah.
Nice. Plug it away, baby. Plug it away.
Yeah. So like we started going ham with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let my guy, because I told him straight up, I'm like, listen, I don't have the time and day to run. I'm doing so many different things at once now. I don't got the time and day to handle this business. I was like, and I told him, I was like, listen, you can run. You're a partner in this business. I was like, you don't expect much from me. I'll do back end stuff, but I need you to be the face of the company.
Right.
And he's like, I got you, no problem. Because
was that one of your boys? Was that a friend? Was that a friend, or was it somebody you just kind of met in business?
No, he's a very good friend of mine.
Good.
Probably one of my best friends, actually.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to do something like that with somebody like that. You're close with.
And another thing as well, like I noticed, like we said before, like hiring friends into your business, you know how that all works out. What I noticed with him was that he actually like had that mindset where he wanted to grow. Like I saw it in him, like, hey, I want to, I don't want to be, he's an employee right now as well in another company, but he's like, I don't want to be an employee no more. I want to leave that generation. I want to, he literally says to me every time, like, I want to retire by I'm 40. He's 33.
Better fucking do it quick.
I was like, yo, start chopping, start selling some products. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys have a lot of contractors, people like that in your network?
What do you mean as contractors? Like,
no, just in general, like home contractors, people like that you met along your ways?
Yeah, I met a few of them.
Yeah.
But, actually it never works out.
Yeah, makes sense. No, because we partner up with a ton of them. That's why I was asking you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that more off camera. Just wanted to get it out there.
Shout you out. There you go.
Absolutely, babe. So what else are you thinking?
Me? Honestly, like now being 1 month into this place, I'm like, I don't want any more businesses. I'm like, thank God, I have an income for myself that I have coming in every month, which I'm thankful for. But I'm like, I'm realizing I'm like, yo, it's not about the money anymore.
No, you're running out of time.
Yeah. I'm like, I see all my friends getting married out here, this and that. I'm like, you know what? And that's a whole different conversation as well. Yes. How females are and all that. Like how the dating industry, how the dating scene is for young people. I'm not saying you're old, dude, but,
Yeah, no, I know.
People of my generation.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is an industry because it's that complicated at this point. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And like, I'm just like, you know what? I want to learn like how to, how do I find time for myself again? How to balance my life out.
Dude, that's one of the hardest things.
I know. I tell myself every year, like I said, started like since 2022, I told myself, hey, I'm going to give more time to my family. I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to do that. And then what ends up happening is I start another business or, something comes up in life and I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Start from the bottom again.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because that's your passion underneath everything is entrepreneurship. And you go back to it, even though it's a scary and difficult thing, you go back to it as your safety net, as just something you love to do, and a business ain't going to break up with you. You know that you have full control when you're doing something like this. But to learn something new, not even a new business, because that's where you thrive, but just something completely out of your element, that's when it gets hard, and that's where the real time necessity takes place. Because you know how to manage your time with businesses. You can set a manager aside, do that, open something else.
Yeah.
But when it comes to setting aside time for different things, that's where it gets a little bit difficult.
Right. Like I get told all the time before, I was like, I would, all my uncles would invite me over for barbecue during the summers, or they'll be like, hey, come out, we're all doing a family trip. Let's go. And I'll be like, fuck that. I'm not doing no family trip. This ain't making me money. This is making me money.
Yeah, that's
I'm
costing
like,
you
I'm
money.
spending money over there. This is costing me shit.
Yeah. Dude, 100%.
Yeah. Now, the last 6-8 months, I'd say, I started going out, to these family events. And people would be like, oh my God, you're alive?
Yeah.
For example, I have, what's it called? My uncle had had 2 kids in the past 4 years. They don't know who the fuck I am. I'm like, I saw one of them, the littlest one. I saw him, 3 weeks ago?
Okay.
And I was like, yo, what's up, little man? He starts crying.
How old is
Dude, I think he's 2 now. And I'm like, yo, why is he crying? He's like, dude, you've been MIA, so of course his kids don't know who you are.
he? He has no idea who you are.
Yeah. And that hit me as well. I'm like, shit, dude.
Yes.
And he's right. I'm like, I spent all this time doing this and that. I forgot about I forgot about family. I forgot about the people who I care for. I forgot about my friends as well. Who I used to hang out with every weekend. We would go get food, for example, cheat days and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even hang out with them.
It's hard sometimes. And I'm extremely guilty of that too. Because you get so sucked up in your business and doing things that you forget to make time for life.
100%.
And everything that comes with it.
I feel like a fucking asshole. I had a text coming from that same friend that introduced me to Bev's, JP, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He texted me 2 days ago. I haven't responded to his text yet.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I'm like, fuck.
And what's worse is you totally forget about it until you see them on Instagram or something. You're like, oh shit, I gotta text him back.
Yeah, exactly. Oh fuck, he just texted me.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, he texted me. I gotta check up on him and make sure he's doing. It's just respond back. No courtesy,
Yeah, of course.
Don't be a jerk.
Anything else, man? What are you thinking?
Me?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm thinking what's for dinner tonight.
What's for dinner tonight?
I don't know. I gotta do some meal prep.
All right. Nothing wrong with that.
Go some white rice and a boil. Grill some chicken up.
Dude, you gotta get a rice cooker. I'm telling you.
I got one of those.
Okay.
And I used it. And I was for a week, and I was like, yo, I think I was on my end how I was using the rice cooker, because I was fucking up every batch of rice. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna use the old style way. Pot, water, rice.
Yeah. Dude, I love my rice. You got to figure out the proper dosages first. For me, I use 3 cups of jasmine rice. I rinse it all out, whatever, and then I add 17 ounces of water to it. But what I do is I put it on overnight. So it's the last thing I do before I go to bed. I eat, get ready to go to sleep, whatever. I put it on before I go to sleep.
Right.
It cooks for an hour, and it's in warming for 8 hours. Wow. Where then when I get up for the day, I have fresh rice made and ready for me all day long.
100%. That's nice. I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, it helps out a lot.
Yeah. What's the company of it? We gotta make sure they send you a check. What's the company of that rice cooker?
Oh. Haroldson Beach, something like that.
All right. Let's make sure that they send you a check for just shouting them out.
They're going to send Rizzle some dividends on that, because I think we coined it on the Voice and Rizzles, but that's more his thing now. I'm not going to steal it from him. So send us the checks.
Yeah. There you go.
You know what? I think it's a nice place to wrap it up on there. So everybody, thanks for tuning in this week's episode of Burn the Ships on Malik. Thanks for coming on. And once again, brother, plug your businesses, plug your social media, plug everything.
All right, everyone, honestly, go follow Legacy Smoke Shop. Go follow Cavalier Auto Detailing. Go follow Exodus Car Care. Go follow Ceramic Pro Babylon. And honestly, I post all this shit in my day-to-day life on social media. On _ Malik's my Instagram page. So if you want to see me ranting about some bullshit or posting up some cool cars, maybe if you're into that stuff, go ahead, just follow that.
All right. And on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
All right. Good night, guys.